Dave Chappelle has announced he has contracted COVID. Of course, our best wishes go out to Dave in hopes he doesn't develop any major symptoms. Get better, Dave. Now, a lot of people are calling in question Dave's behavior leading up to his diagnosis.
Yeah, so there's Dave at Stubbs in Austin. Dave performed a gig there Wednesday night. He tested positive on Thursday, so he's hanging out with Elon Musk, Grimes, Joe Rogan, no masks, no social distancing. Dave was supposed to perform 3 more nights at the venue, but Joe Rogan has announced that those have been canceled.
And there's another photo from the same night with the same crew, along with Michelle Wolf and Donald Rawlings and others. Now, just a few days before Dave's diagnosis, he crashed wedding photos of a couple, Eleanor and Todd, as they got married at the Allen house. Now, Dave appears to keep his distance, and it looks like those photos were taken outside.
Like, this is so interesting. I mean, we've talked about this idea before. One, I will say, I'm happy that Dave has come public, because we talked about this whole idea that celebrities are still living their lives, then they get COVID, they disappear for 4 months, then they say, oh, I had COVID back in the spring. So I'm happy that Dave is coming out right away and saying, I contracted COVID, because, yeah, I'm tired of celebrities trying to still have this public image that they're still out there and partying and doing all these social get-togethers and not taking anything seriously, and then they get COVID and hide it. So I'm happy that Dave is out there, but I mean, we've talked about before, Canada's not perfect. Canada's still going through issues of dealing with COVID-19, people not following protocols. But America just seems to be out there still wilding. Like, it still blows my mind. I think they're up to about 410,000 people have died, and they're still going to bars and getting into these group photos with no masks. It blows my mind. I don't understand the mindset in any kind of way.
There's so much I could go into with this all. Yeah, we see the politicians going on vacation during the holidays while you're telling your people, stay home, don't go out. And it seems, I'm going to get in trouble for saying all this, but people who have the necessity, who are well off, tend to find ways of letting them live their lives as normal and go out, party, go on vacations, do whatever is needed because they have the opportunities to do it. But when you put it on social media, if you're going to do it safely, but don't put it on social media. This is what really bothers me. When we see these photos, you have a voice. You have the opportunity to make a change and tell people to stay home and stay safe. Why not do that? I don't get it. Like, just a little, even for me, when I see people going to hotels sometime, I'm like, why take the risk? Just stay home and be safe. And so those are the things that really bother me. And when I see Elon Musk and his wife, who just had a baby, why are you out maybe taking the risk of taking it back to your kids? These are the things that, and you're right, like Dave Chappelle, I'm glad he spoke up that he does have COVID, but his attitude and what he was doing, his behavior from before, and you're right, like, people are not changing their mentality around it. 410,000 people are dead in the U.S., and that's a significant number. And I mean, it's a lot of elderly people, and I know most people are saying our age, we're going to be fine, but you just never know. You just never know why take the risk.
Yeah, Inga says, I'm ready for COVID-19 to go away. We're all ready for it to go away, but I think people are jumping the gun. Like, even though the vaccine is starting to be out there on a very minor scale, it's not gone. Like, we're still months away. You can't all of a sudden be out there doing all this stuff. And it's great that Dave Chappelle, I forget what state he built it in now. I'm having a brain fart. But yeah, he built that outdoor stage where comedians are able to come and have these outdoor shows, which is great. And it was safe. But, like, being in a small bar in Austin is just crazy. And so those wedding photos, those were taken on Sunday. So it sounds to me that Dave was tested every day. So he was fine up to Wednesday. Then he tested positive on Thursday. So obviously he got it, Wednesday night at that bar. So he didn't have it when he crashed those wedding photos. But you just think, what if he contracted it Saturday night and he hadn't had his test Sunday morning and he goes and crashes those wedding photos? It's like, just for a joke to be in the background. But, like, that obviously didn't end up being the case, but that could have been the case. So it's just like, just to be out there and still doing it. Like, it's just crazy.
And I think it's right now, I don't know how you're feeling, but it's taken a mental toll on me. I think a lot of people are feeling that way.
Everyone,
indoors all the time, right? Everyone is having that moment. They're like, we just need to get out. And I'm hoping if people just follow the rules, we can finally get businesses opened. We can find safe ways to actually live life. You look at Australia, you look at New Zealand, where they did a full lockdown and people follow the rules. And I think maybe with the new government in place in the U.S., hopefully things will change and people will start listening. I hope. But yeah, just Yeah, this one just frustrates me. Just move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Well, I'll just say Xander says it's the me attitude. And what you said before actually reminds me of just this morning I saw Chrissy Teigen posted a photo. They're outside the Lincoln Memorial with John and their kids. And it was her mom and a bunch of other people. But I was just thinking, they're all wearing masks all outside. It's fine. But I'm thinking like, oh, you flew all those people from LA to Washington, D.C., I guess on a private jet. You could do that. But like, yeah, just frustrating. Just, for all the rest of us that have to stay home, we don't have the money to get on a private jet and go somewhere. And I know they're not flaunting it. They're just showing how they're living their life. But you have to understand the frustration, like the blowback they get from that stuff. You have to realize like it's super frustrating for people that we're all staying at home and you're able, because you have money, you're still able to travel and do all that stuff and get all your family to go to the DC and stuff like that. So they have to understand it's super frustrating for people to see that. But
Yeah.
yes, to wrap up, yes, we hope Dave, we hope you're okay, Dave.